Hello guys, what's going on? So, I've added a bunch of stuff to the project. It's got a bunch more features now, and I think pretty much everything apart from NPCs can be tested now. Um, when I get the Kinect camera from David and Mary, obviously most of my time is going to go on that, but until then I'm going to try and get most of the stuff done so that we don't have um, much more functionality to add in terms of gameplay by the time we come back. Um, this means that I probably won't be doing the design tasks, like the levels that are in the schedule. I've already spoken to Chris about this, so if you want to decide amongst yourself over who's going to do the stuff that I had planned to do, it's only 3 level designs, I think. I think that's what us developers were given. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I've added, show you how to use it, and hopefully it'll be pretty clear. So all I've done is open up this MC Test Suite. Well, I haven't bothered to rename it or anything, but it's under Mana Cannon. Click that open, and you should get this. It's just a plane with a PC. You notice that he has a little cube now. That's a hand object. We can turn that off once the game's actually done, but that is for picking stuff up. So we'll get into that in a sec. But the first thing I'm going to do is make a little environment for us. That was very weird. Alright, sorry about that guys. For some reason some of the prefabs didn't load. If you get that problem, try just minimizing and open it up again. Sometimes Unity takes a little while to import everything. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, so let's set up a little environment. So we'll drag a platform in, set it to 0 on the Z axis, Control C, Control V, and then Control drag. It didn't actually copy. There we go. So if we set up the environment like that, you can see in the game view that it's on the right axis. Yeah, so the hand thing, we can pick stuff up, and I've changed the boxes now. So you have a metal box, a TNT box, a wood box, and the spheres, you have a metal and wood sphere. Just going off the object list, they behave how you would expect them to, I think. So if we throw in a metal box and 0 it in this screen, we'll go in game, and if you can see up here there's a little health thing as well, that's for later. So you can walk up to it and there's a little pickup prompt, and you can carry it about with you and drop it down. That's really simple. You can do that to all of these objects, to the TNT one, to the wood one, as long as you 0 them all, they will all work. So once they drop down, you can pick them up and you can move them around, you can stack them. Obviously something which isn't sorted at the moment is if you put it inside and then turn it on, yeah, it's going to throw stuff. Obviously that can be fixed. Header it back in. Yes. If you want, I can reset the rotations when it picks it up. I haven't done it for now because it's not massively important. So yeah, objects stackable and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to go through what I've added to each of these things to give them different materials and stuff. So first of all, they have a physics material. It doesn't really make a difference. It makes next to no difference whatsoever. TNT doesn't have anything on it. Wood is wood. Metal is metal. It really doesn't make much of a difference. If we notice that it's not obvious in gameplay, then we can take it out. But yeah, it doesn't make a difference from what I can see. So I've added a fire and freeze script so that you can use the fire and freeze catalyst now, which is all working. I'll show you that in a sec. There's the pickup object script where you can pick up the object. This pickup height thing, I'm going to hide that because it figures all that out automatically based on the size and all that stuff, so don't worry about that. But yeah, basically they just have a script to say that you can pick them up, and it has them all of those, and on the spheres as well. It's all there. Yeah, cool. So wood ones, not important. Metal boxes, not important. Right, so TNT. TNT explodes when it dies. You kill it by setting it on fire, and there's a burn delay on all of the objects that can catch fire and stuff. So they have a burn delay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how long it'll stay on fire for before it kills itself. When it does kill itself, it finds an explosion object, which is this thing up here in effects, which is just a particle system with an explosion script on it. Don't worry about that, it does it all for you. But yeah, the TNT box has explode on death on it, and this has 3 variables which it passes into the little effect object, and that's what makes it do stuff. So you set the blast radius, so I've got it set to 5 units, and the lifetime, that's the lifetime of the explosive effect. So I've got it set to something really small because you basically just want it to play one shot, but if you do it over 1 frame, it doesn't really work, and you have to set the power really high. So if we just have it on for like 0.1 of a second, it'll just do the effect for that long. Yeah, that'll also be useful when it comes to drawing something when there's an explosion. So at the moment I've just got a little particle effect going, but yeah, you're going to want to see the effect, and if it's done over 1 frame, you're not going to see it. And the power, and that's how much it pushes objects away, like how powerful it pushes them. So if I show you this, if we set up a TNT, I'm just going to remodel this room quickly so that we're not going to lose any objects when stuff explodes. We can set that stuff up, and we'll put a couple of wood boxes in as well. Oops. So we'll throw that in, and we'll put that one there. Hopefully we won't lose that. Right, so I'm going to throw in a cannon quickly. Take a cannon, pop it in there, set it to 0. Let's put this here, and this, that's going to move this object so it's just in the right place. Let's see how they fall. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so E to use, and we switch to energy. Left click set stuff on fire, right stuff freezes stuff. So I'll explain all this in a second, but yeah, left click, sets it on fire, waits 2 seconds, and then blam, throws all the pieces. Yeah, so that's what that does, pretty much. So, for the sake of setting stuff on fire and all that jazz, we have... Yeah, so anyway, on the cannon, there is... What have I done? No, not on the cannon. On the thingy objects, the catalysts, we now have a fire catalyst, and it does all that crap. On the nozzles, let's look at the inverse nozzle. Has an inverse manager. There was no reason showing you that. Basically, it has a fire and a freeze effect now. So you can left click to fire, right click to freeze stuff. Obviously, based on the object sheet, some stuff can freeze, some stuff can't. But just for an example, if I stack up a bunch of these things, right, you'll see that even though there's a bit of space between all of them, so that they all act under gravity. Yep. And then we take this, take the energy catalyst, right click on the TNT box, and it will be frozen. How do we know that it's frozen? Because we can make these smaller, and it stays where it is. Yeah? And then when you set it on fire again, it unfreezes it, drops down, and then blows stuff up. Yeah? So, metal objects freeze, wooden objects catch fire, TNT does both. Basically. Yeah, and that's all there is to it. So, if we go... Let's leave all these where they are. Just to show you that it works with the thingy ones as well. Metal box there. and 0 it. So if we were just to hit the TNT now, they would all go flying, but we can freeze this one and then set this one on fire. They're all going to go flying, but that one didn't. The reason those kind of jammed is because there's no space between the ground and the blocks. So yeah, I'll show you it properly actually. So if we freeze that one, and then made it big by accident. Oh, not important. If we set this on fire, then they're going to get pushed out, but that one's going to stay where it is. And then we can use the fire to unfreeze it again. Yeah? So if we were to move this out of the way, we can energy and set the box on fire. Yeah, so that's materials and all that crap. So yeah, have a play around with that, see how the TNT stuff works, mess around with freezing objects, and yeah. So, the picking up thing, you can pick objects up and you can move them around, but there is if we look on the PC, there's a carry script with a max carry size and the PC distance. So the PC distance is the same as it's been for everything else, every other piece of coursework that you've probably done. That there's a distance that you have to be within the object before you can pick it up. I've done a thing with the that's hidden. That means that you'll only ever have something pick up if it's within the distance if you're facing it as well. And there's a max carry size, which is the maximum size of an object that you can pick up. So here, I can pick up the TNT box, because if we look, where is it in the... Where the hell has it gone? Oh, it'll be childed to the PC. Yeah, so if we look there, scale, that's strange. Let's drop it. That's because it's childed, it's changed the scale. But if we drop it, yeah, it's all set to pretty much 1. But if we change to the size catalyst and increase it, now the scale is 2-ish. Now I can't pick it up. Yeah. So press E, I'm just too close to the thing. I'm going to change the cannon as well, so that you can only access it if you're facing it. Similarly to the pickup thing. Right, the other thing that you might have just noticed then is that you can now push the cannon. So if you just walk into it, it'll push it either side. Yeah, you can have the cannon do that, or if you click on the cannon, you can go down to its cannon movable and turn off the movable function. Basically, all this does is just turn the rigid body. It just freezes the rigid body. So if you want to set it up properly, really, you should just have it on the ground. And now you can't move it. Like, I'm walking into it and it's not doing anything. The other thing that I was going to show you is a little health thing. So obviously if we set the TNT on fire and then stand on it, we're going to lose a heart of health. Yeah, in case you missed that. So yeah, 3 hearts. Energy. Blam. We lose a thing. Yeah. So the fire and freezing stuff isn't just for these objects. You can also do it to the seesaw. So if we put a seesaw in and 0 it, we open the seesaw all the way up until we get to the board. You can see that it's got a rigid body, seesaw push and pull, mesh collider, and now fire and freeze. So the burn delay, right? Some of the things I've left the burn delay on. Don't play with it, I suppose. Actually, I'll figure a way to hide it, maybe. But that's only important. That's only going to do anything if the object can die. So if it's a wooden box or a wooden sphere or a TNT box or something. If it's something like the board for the seesaw or some metal objects or something, it's not going to do anything. And yeah, what we're going to do is push it so doing that, and when it gets halfway, I'm going to stop pushing, and it's going to want to fall to the other side. Yeah? So if we do that, and then switch to energy, and freeze it, it's going to stay in place. Yeah? And I can prove that by throwing down a dispenser. While we're here, I might as well walk through the dispensers, because what I was going to show you is pretty much self-explanatory. It's basically just, if it's frozen, if an object's going to land on it, it's not going to do anything to it physically, it's going to stay where it is. Yeah, that's all I was going to show you for that. This is more important. So the dispensers now have two modes. If we look down in the dispenser manager, there's BL auto mode. So if you turn that on, it's going to behave the way that it did before. As soon as it starts, it's going to drop an object. When you destroy that object, it's going to pump out another one. Yeah, so just to remind you what that was all about. I didn't add it. Remember to assign an object to the dispenser. Yeah, so when it comes back, if you don't assign a thing, it's going to come up with that error message. So, if you get an error on the dispenser, it's probably because you haven't assigned an object. So if we take a metal box and add that to the dispenser manager, and it's in auto mode, no, actually we don't want a metal one, because I want to be able to destroy it to show you. If we add a box one, so if I pull that back round, if I destroy this using the fire, it's going to drop out another one, and move the seesaw. So if I kill that again, I didn't think this through, did I? Right, let's put that there, and then freeze it, and then burn this one when it pumps up. Right, ooh, hello, what's going on? There we go. Right, my bloody screen cap software just stopped, so I'm going to kill that, and then, yeah, this is what I was going to show you before, is that it drops, and the seesaw doesn't move. Yeah? So that's auto mode. That's where the dispensers just consistently pump out stuff. If you take off auto mode, then it's only going to dispense when you press a button that tells it to dispense. Right? So if we throw in a... This has to be done with toggle pads as well. I can't think of a situation where you would use a physics pad, so I've not put that in. But if anyone thinks of anything that they want to use a physics toggle for the manual dispensers, then yeah, let me know. But yeah, so the dispenser and the toggle pad. Right, so as before, we need to open up the toggle pad, and go affected object is the dispenser. In the dispenser, if the auto mode is set to 0, or not, false, then we can jump on that, and it's going to tell the dispenser to drop out whatever object it's supposed to have. So if we put that there, yeah, whatever, it's not important. I'll drag it over here. Yeah. So we can get rid of this now, it's not important. Right. So, if we go on here, with any luck, as long as I haven't forgotten anything, that's containing the wood boxes like it would before. Jump on the switch, it's going to drop a box out. Yeah? If we try and jump on the switch again while there's a box out, it's not going to do anything. Yeah? So, if we let the thing come back up, go to energy, and burn it, it's not going to drop anything out because it's not in auto mode. You need to press the button again, and it will drop another one out. Yeah? So they're the two different things that you can do with dispensers now, is you can have them in auto mode, or you can have them in manual mode, just by going on the object, going down to the dispenser manager, and changing the auto mode. Right, so that's dispensers. What else is there? Dispensers, materials, fire and freeze catalyst, picking up objects. Yeah, basically that's what's been added. Can't think of anything else. Anything to the PC? I covered pushing the cannon, didn't I? So with the cannon, where's it gone? The cannon movable, you can make it act under physics or not. So yeah, basically they're the new things that you can do with the objects. I'm not gonna, it makes it feel much better. I was kind of not sure how the gameplay was going to be before I started doing this stuff. I didn't know how interesting it was going to be, but now that you can like burn objects and use different materials and stuff, it definitely feels a bit more interesting. So yeah, I'm going to put this package up, take a look at it, see if you designed any levels without NPCs, see if the game is in a state that you can actually start building stuff now. Right, I was going to show you something with the seesaws that Sam pointed out, but I've just played with it and it's not in any kind of state to give to you guys, so I'm going to try and fix that. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to try and get as many features in before we go back, and yeah, take this package and try and make some stuff.